shots. Okay. You didn't want to watch it there, did you? I'll take it.
I'm Captain Richard Waller, and I am honored, privileged to be the commanding officer of North Hollywood area at this time as we celebrate the opening of what is the second of 3 new police facilities in the city of L.A. And in my opinion, it's the best. I think when you go on the inside later and see it, you'll understand why I say that. But as we start out, we will have presentation of the colors by the Los Angeles Police Department Honor Guard. Thank you. You may be seated. Seated with me up here are a number of distinguished guests and dignitaries. What I would like to do is introduce them at the start. You'll be pleased to know that not all of them are going to speak this morning. There's a message there. Yeah, you get to speak, Mayor. But, you know, measure the tone of the audience. You know. First off, on my left is the Mayor of the City of Los Angeles, Richard J. Riordan. Seated next to him is the council member in whose district we are right now, the 2nd Council District, led by Councilman Joel Wax. I am blessed with a number of other fine council members. To my right is Council President John Ferraro of the 4th District. Next in the line of succession, I guess, is Councilman Richard Alarcon, 7th District. From the 5th District, we have Councilman Michael Feuer. If you didn't know him a few months ago, you certainly all know him now, the Chief of Police of the L.A.P.D, Bayon Lewis. This is my former boss, retired Chief of Police Darrell F. Gates. The Acting Director of the Office of Operations, Deputy Chief Bernard Parks. My immediate superior, the Commanding Officer of Operations Valley Bureau, Deputy Chief Martin Pomeroy. The City Attorney for the City of Los Angeles, Mr. James Hahn. And then finally, 2 special people. They're seated in the back, but that doesn't in any way diminish their importance to me. 2 people who are extremely important in the North Hollywood communities, North Hollywood Police Department. First, the co-chair of my Community Police Advisory Board, Mr. Eric Ravenny. And then finally, what came together today is largely the efforts of the East Valley PALs, Police Activity League supporters, who are longtime supporters of law enforcement in North Hollywood. They put in a great deal of effort and planning with a lot of support from the community today. The current president of PALs is Mr. Nick Poole. And now some of the dignitaries will be offering remarks. We'll start with Mayor Reardon.
Thank you very much, Captain Waller. And Commander, I demoted him. He has a great first name. His parents are here. Mr. and Ms. Waller, why don't you stand? On February 28, I think you all remember witnessing a frightening incident which displayed violence at its worst. But we saw incredible bravery, much or most of it from the men and women in blue out of this station. While I was in the command center in North Hollywood, I encountered officers who were calm, under fire, they were confident, they were decisive, and they were committed to a single goal, protecting Angelenos. Our officers once again proved to me and to the world that the L.A.P.D. has the finest men and women in the whole world. I'd like to compliment the leadership of council members, President John Ferraro, Richard Alarcon, Mike Fuhrer, and last but hardly least, my great friend Joel Wax. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Next, it's my pleasure to introduce a good friend of law enforcement for a long, long time, a very good friend of North Hollywood in particular, Councilman Joel Wax.
Obviously, I'm thrilled that so many of you have joined us this morning as we celebrate our new North Hollywood station. You know, this is a station that replaces what was probably one of the oldest working stations in the city. And now we have a station where our officers can have the most modern facilities and state-of-the-art technology that they need and that they deserve. We worked very, very hard. All of my colleagues here today worked very hard to make sure that this station was a priority station, that the funding for this station was a priority in the last bond issue that you, the voters, approved. I'm glad we have the finest, most modern, state-of-the-art facility that looks good, that we can be proud of. You will not forget, as the mayor just reminded you, you're of course not going to forget the remarkable bravery which our officers showed as they faced the incredible firepower of the bank robbers at the B&A. But all of us who've lived in this community know that in less dramatic settings, day in and day out, year in and year out, the officers of this station have responded to the needs of the people in our community, and they have done so with dignity and with courage and grace, and it's for that that we are grateful, not just the day of heroism, but the everyday acts that they have rendered on our behalf over all these years. So this is a day where we celebrate that continuing heroism of the officers that we have come to rely upon day in and day out, and the manner in which they have served us to protect this community from harm. It's time to give the police department the support it needs, and this station this morning, this station represents a bold step forward in that regard, and that is why I am so pleased to be here, and the mayor and my colleagues on the city council who've worked to make this day happy. I'm proud to represent this community. I'm proud to live under the watchful eye of the L.A.P.D., and I'm proud to present this to a man who I have tremendous respect for, Captain Waller.